driving machines, but there's something about them that keeps pulling you back on. This is my Panhead, and this is what I went through that whole adventure. I knew riding this on the road in Tenerife would be absolutely incredible. Even with the 4-speed gearbox, the 1950s Panhead engine, I just knew that this would be the bike for Tenerife.
Now, as always, in Tenerife, glorious day. I'm so glad to be home. I'm so pleased to be off that boat. That boat was shocking. It really was. I can't actually believe that we are actually in this day and age and we got treated like that. But they were like that 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I've done it before. It's just never improved. And hopefully, if we make a bit of a noise about it, you never know, somebody might see it and they might try and improve the service for people. But let's take a look at the bike, okay? This is a Panhead, okay? Now, what is a Panhead? Why is it called Panhead? Well, for that, we're going to have to take a little trip down memory lane. Harley Davidson were the first in America, really, to start building the motorised engines, turning bicycles into motorbikes. Now, if we were to go to a board of directors in the automotive industry today and say to them, I've got a fantastic idea. Let's get an engine, let's strap it between two wheels, put a seat on it and go 100 mile an hour down the road. Well, I think you'd get kicked out of the board meeting and told you was raving mad. But in those days, it sounded like a good idea. And the motorbike was born. And it progressed and it progressed. The engine's developed. It's called a Panhead because the heads or the covers on the tops of the engine are shaped like pants. Previously, we had the flathead, which was more of a World War II kind of mass-produced bike, which is why the flathead really is probably not so sought after, although there's some beautiful bikes out there. Then on top of that, then we had flathead. Previous to that was the knucklehead. The knucklehead used to spit a lot of oil everywhere. So they used the covers to prevent that from happening because it had exposed rockers. Then also, after that came the shovel, then came the Evo, and the engine progressed from there. We're on the Milwaukee engine now. So that's why it's called the Panhead. This is 1950s. This was pre-suspension on the back, which is why we've got the hardtail frame, which is probably only ever found these days in hardtail choppers. And on the front, we've got the original, what we would call Springer front end. So we'll have a little bit of a closer look at those in a minute. We've got the Fat Bob tanks, and this bike, although the engine is 1950s, this bike is actually built and rebuilt using patina paint, which is a way of making all of this paint kind of look old. That's done through a kind of sped up process by painting the bike several different colours, flattening it down and chipping it away to expose those colours underneath, and then using on the bare metal that you go down to, using a spray. Normally that would be peroxide, vinegar, water and maybe bicarb, something like that. You can find it on YouTube, and then spraying that, leaving it overnight. That gives you a very fast kind of rusted look, and normally then it would be lacquered over the top to seal it all in. This hasn't actually been lacquered down. I guess that is because the builder of the bike, Andreas, wanted it to look more authentic, as if it were the original paint. So there's the original engine, and you can see those pan-shaped covers, what gives the engine its name. This is an S&S aftermarket carb. This was to increase the performance, and the engine's been completely rebuilt by Andreas. There's also then the 4-speed box that sits in the back there. That's been nicely put together. I like these additions of the brass. Andreas has used a few little brass parts to enhance the look, including the tops of the forks here. So let's take a look at the Springer front end. So, Springer front end, original dogtail. Springs here, damper system, down onto the wheels. They act almost like a girder fork. To be fair, I find Springers pretty good. I always have done. It's got aftermarket wheels on this with a new set of drum brakes, so they're kind of replica stuff on there. Drum brakes, that don't really work. Bates headlight, original kind of style bars on there, an original speedo, double fat bob tanks. Single style seat, the seat gets mounted there between the tank, and then he's on a pin system underneath, oil box under there, battery in here. We've added this seat. The only reason we've added that seat is just to give it that original kind of trog look where they had this back seat. This isn't for a pillion. This is for when you're racing and you slide your ass off the seat at full speed, giving you the ability to kind of lie down and get more streamlined on the tank. Pipes, brat pipes, probably need to change those a little bit. I'm going to try putting some baffling system in there just to dampen the noise down, to give me a more in-depth noise. It's got an original primary chain drive, which is what was making all the rattling and the noise when we got back, and when we did check that, that was very, very loose. We also have, again, drum brake system on the back, cog and drum together. They're aftermarket wheels, so they're not original, but it is the original kind of look and feel to the bike. All in all, Andreas for me has done an amazing job of this build. He's reconstructed the character of a real trog racing bike, and for me, it's given me what I wanted. It's an investment. These engines are becoming more and more sought after, and Andreas has given me a little bit more history with this. This actually has what we call a Texas stroker in it, which is a cam upgrade that was originally done to the bike back in the day. So if we could trace some history, if we could really look at where this engine originated from, where it had been, where's it been for those 73 years? That, my friends, is what makes the bike full of character. It's a beautiful day, and we're going to go and take her for a spin. I've just had the local constabulary giving me a little talking to about helmets. So he wasn't very pleased with my German helmet, so maybe I need to source something else for that. But what an amazing, fantastic day. Take a look at that. Absolutely fantastic. And today is the bank holiday, and we're going to spend it riding this Panhead and enjoying the day. Really worth that trip just to get that bike here.